Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about how to install a NitroWedge. This is a new product from the Nitro Moose company, Nuetech. And this is what it looks like. It's just a short piece of a moose. And the purpose of these is as your moose wears, that makes your tire get softer. And then you can stick this in there and firm it back up so you can add miles to the life of the moose. Also, if you've got even like a new moose, you install it, you ride it, and you think it's too soft, well, you can install one of these and firm it up. So you can use it as a tuning tool or kind of a repair item. And on the side of the box here are some very good instructions. It's a very simple process. Only tools required are a tape measure and a hacksaw or some type of a knife to cut your moose. And this is the tire that this moose came out of. And you can see that it's changed profile. It's turned into kind of a V shape down here. And when that happens, so this part that gets squished down into the drop center of the rim area, when that happens, the volume is going down into there, so you lose volume up here on the crown, and then the tire gets a softer feel. It feels like it has less pressure than it did when I first put it in. So the first thing to do is to cut the moose with your hacksaw. I just draped this over my vise and cut it. Took less than 2 or 3 seconds. It's very easy to cut. You could probably even cut it with a pocket knife. I didn't try it, but anyhow. So after you cut it, you're not taking a section out of it or anything, you're just cutting it. And then you put it back in the tire. And as you put it back in, you kind of push it that way as well to try to really get it pushed back up in there all the way. Then you're going to end up with a gap. You can see this. There's a gap right here. And I already measured this with my tape measure. And you just measure across here, push it back both directions, and then measure it. And this one's about 4.5 inches. And it says in the instructions to have this piece 2 to 4 inches longer than that gap. And this piece is 7 inches long. This is how they come, 7. So it's going to have it's going to be 2.5 inches longer than that gap is. All right, so from here, you just have to stuff this in. There's no easy way to do it. Just kind of stuff it in there. And you can't hurt these mooses. I mean, if you happen to tear it a little bit or gouge it with something, poke a hole in it, it doesn't hurt them at all. So now you can see that's a lot wider right there than it is over here. That's definitely going to make this have a firmer feel. The plushy moose, which is what this is, you can look on our site, but I think it says 8 to 9 pound feel. The other ones, the platinum, I don't remember what it says. I think it's like 13 to 14 psi. I like my bikes to have like around 11 psi feel to them. These plushies are a little bit soft for me, so this should make it to where it's just fine. But it's it's not scientific as far as how much of a piece in there, how much pressure increase do you get. There's no way to calculate that. You just put it in, mount it up, go ride it, see if it's how you like it. Since I've used a full-length piece, if it's not firm enough now, then I'll probably have to start over with a new moose, a new plushie, and then add a piece to it, and maybe to get the feel that I want. But it's, like I said before, it's to get the feel that you want, or it's to extend the life of one that's getting tired. All right, so the things that really wear out mooses, the number one thing, mooses don't like heat. And heat will just turn them into dust. So heat can be running them for too long on a hot paved road, 80, 90 degree day going down pavement for 20, 30 miles, that's going to destroy a moose. But the number one thing that we see that destroys them is people don't keep them lubricated, or they use the wrong lubricant. The wrong lubricant is what we see the most. Anytime we get complaints, we ask them what type of lubricant they're using, and they're using Murphy's oil soap. Well, that is exactly what it says on the bottle. It's a soap. It is not a lubricant. It is not designed to be used on motorcycle mooses. I don't know why guys want to do it. I think it's because it's cheap, but it's a good way to ruin your $100 moose. So Nuetech has intentionally made the cost of their lubricant inexpensive. It's only $5 a bottle, a tube, excuse me, because they want you to use it, and they want you to use a lot of it. And the easiest way to do it is, before you put the moose in the tire, squirt a bead of that lubricant all the way around up inside the crown of the tire. In the past, we always lubed them up and then stuck them in the tire, and it was like wrestling a greased pig. It was very difficult. It almost took 2 people to do it, and by the time you got it done, you had half the stuff on your clothing and on the floor and everywhere else. This method is much, much easier. So take that tube, it only takes 1 tube for 1 moose, and without the moose in the tire. So have the moose out in the top of, on the crown of the tire. So down as deep as you can go there, squirt a bead of that all the way around. Nuetech has tested this. They say when you do that, what they did was they squirted it in there, mounted it up, went and rode it for 15 minutes, came back, pulled it apart, and that lubricant was everywhere that it needed to be. It was all over the moose, all over the inside of the tire. It quickly disperses to where it needs to be. So make sure you do that. Another thing to help keep them lubed up is, I don't know how often, but is to squirt some more lubricant in. And we sell some steel valve stems that you can put in your rim, and just take the core out of them and take that lubricant and put it into I think it's easiest if you put it into a syringe with a hose on it, and then put that hose over the valve stem with the core removed and squirt it inside there. It will disperse to where it needs to be in just a matter of minutes, so you don't have to worry about that. You only need to have 1 valve stem in the tire, because it will get spread out everywhere, all the way around. And then put the core back in to keep it in there. And in every few rides you can squirt some more in there. Keep that thing well lubricated. That is the whole trick to keeping these things alive and giving them a long service life. All right, guys, from here, after you lube it all up, so at this stage you have to take this back out of the tire, the moose and the wedge. Take it back out, put the lubricant in, put the tire, the moose and the wedge back in, and then mount it on your wheel. I'm not going to cover mounting in this video because I already have a video on our website. It's on about how to mount tires with mooses, and it's on the same page as these Nitro Mooses are on, and it's also on the regular Nitro Moose page. It's on the wedge page and the regular moose page. So you can watch that video on how to mount it, and then you should be ready to rip. Hope this helps, guys. That's all for now. Get out and ride.